Hey guys, Coach Porter here again. This is segment 3. We're going to be talking about inside veer right and inside veer left. Just like at camp today, there's some numbers thrown around. We're not going to be a number system this year. We're simply going to call it inside veer right or inside veer left. But there are some same premises here. So inside veer right potentially could be called 12 veer. And I can go over that for you in a second here. So you have 12 veer. But in our terminology, we're going to keep it as veer right, inside veer right, and inside veer left for simplicity. Inside veer left could also be called 13 veer. How do I get the numbering system? Let me go over that real quick. If we were to go with a numbering system, which we aren't, but I want to give you a little bit of a basis of the background of this, every guy up here is numbered or labeled as a number. So if we go from right to left, we have our 2, our 4, there's an imaginary tight end here, he'd be 6, and everything outside of him would be 8. So if you notice everything right now to my right side, or to the offensive line's right side facing the defense, is all even numbers. If we go to the left, everything's an odd number. So we're going to go 3, 5, imaginary tight end here, 7, and everything outside is 9. So if you notice that right now, basically what we have here is we have evens to the right, odds to the left, and guys are numbered right here. In terms of 12 veer, if we were to call this by numbers, our quarterback would be labeled a 1, the tailback would be labeled a 3, the left wing would be labeled a 2, and the right wing would be labeled a 4. So what 12 veer tells you is that the quarterback has first premise on the ball, he has first option on the ball. The ball is going to go to the 2 hole, which is the outside leg of the guard. Okay, and then we're running option. Veer is our triple option play. So basically what we have is we have motion. Okay, we've got our pitch back coming across. We have the tailback coming down through the outside leg of the guard. Okay, and we have the quarterback who's going to make his ride, read, and decide. All right, so right there is how that would be, what that would be called. So inside veer right for us is also called 12 veer, which we will not be calling it this year, but I just want to give you a little background on that. Just the opposite of that, if we were to go inside veer left, quarterback would open up to the left side, the tailback would run through the outside leg of the guard, and we would have motion out of our 4 back coming this way. And that would be inside veer left or 13 veer. Okay? So that's our triple option play to the left. Now, to get down into more detail now, what we have here now is we're going to go back over inside veer right, as we're going to call it here this year. Inside veer right. And I want to go through some of the premise and some of the blocking schemes. So linemen, you're going to have to pay attention to this. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, we're going to go over your schematics as well. We're going to throw it all in here so you can pay attention. We're going to keep it nice and easy. So when we roll into camp, you guys will have an idea of what's going on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over inside veer right. Now you notice right now that we have an even defense. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Our center is uncovered. So that predicates us the fact that we're going to have an even defense that we're running against. So this could be a 4-4, it could be a 4-3, it could be a 4-2-5. It doesn't matter. We have 4 down linemen that show us that this is an even defense. Okay. What we know about this right now is that our quarterback has 2 reads. Okay. His first read right off the bat is going to be what we call the dive key read. The end man on the line of scrimmage, the emo, is the dive key read. We label him as the DK, dive key. The pitch key is going to be the outside backer out here. We call him PK. So we have the DK and the PK. We have the pitch key and the dive key. All right. The same would be said about the left side too. We have the dive key on the left side if we were to run 13 veer or left veer left. So we have the dive key, and then the outside backer would be the pitch key, depending upon what type of play we're running, which you guys are going to see more of later on. So quarterbacks, here's the guy we're reading right here. This is the dive key, the end man on the line of scrimmage, who's on or outside of the tackle. And our pitch key is going to be this guy right there. All right. So based on this now that you guys know what your dive key and your pitch key are. Offensive line, our blocking scheme is really quite simple when you think about it. We're going to keep it simple, keep it easy for you. What we have on the front side now is we have a 3 technique. So we're going to say we're running veer right now. What we have is we have a 3 technique. This is our 3 technique right here, this tackle. We have a 5 technique in this end, and we have a stacked backer right here. All right. We want to leave this pitch key or this dive key alone. We don't want to touch him at all. Okay, if he's in a head up or outside shoulder, what we want to do is we want to get our arm through and pick grass. We want to rip underneath, and we want to make sure we have no contact with the guy that our quarterback's reading. What we're going to have here is we're going to have a double team by the play side guard and by the play side tackle. Play side guard is going to step. Play side tackle is going to come down hard. And what's going to happen is we're going to get that nice double team type of look here. We're going to make sure that tackle doesn't penetrate through the B gap there. If anything, we can't let him penetrate there because that's right where we're running the ball at. What's going to happen is we're going to have this nice double team, butt to butt, hip to hip. And if we can, we're going to continue from this double team. We're going to kind of scrape our butt over here, guards, and we're going to continue up to the play side number of this linebacker right here. If this linebacker's number is 76, we got to aim for the 6 right here. All right, we got to seal him off. What we have then is our center, after he snaps the ball, he's going to take a play side A-gap step. He's going to step, and he's going to continue up to make sure there's no penetration through A-gap. What that also means is if he has nobody here, the center also has to give a little eye to that backside backer coming through. He can't just come up and then leave that hole open. He's actually got to take a step. He's going to help here first. It almost looks like a triple team if you look at it. He's going to step here, and he's going to get his eyes up. So if that backer blitzes A-gap, or if this backer comes, he's there to protect. Backside, we got a pretty simple rule here, all right? If Veer's going away from you, this is real simple. You're going to take your right foot, you're going to step into A-gap, and you're going to make sure there's no penetration and continue up. If this guy comes through, you're going to take him. If this guy goes backside here, leave him and continue through A-gap here. Do not allow any penetration through A-gap. All right? Backside tackle, your job is even simpler than that. All you're going to do is you're going to take a hard step in with your right foot. You're going to wheel your butt through, and you're going to seal that gap off, and you're going to make sure there's no penetration here. We want to make sure that this defensive end can't hit our quarterback from the backside, that this defensive end can't make any chaos through there. So your job is to make sure that B-gap is sealed and nobody comes through, okay? Right here is what our look is for inside veer right, okay? And it would be the exact same if we flipped it over, which I'll show you in a minute. Tailbacks. You're going to take a right step right on the line. You're going to come down. You're going to get in the mesh with the quarterback. Okay, quarterback is going to get the ball. His eyes are going to go directly to his dive key. All right, the dive key is going to predicate whether we give it or we keep it. If the dive key comes upfield, that is an automatic give, quarterbacks. We give it because look at your hole here. We got a nice seal down right here. We got a hole going there. Okay, if the defensive end comes down hard, quarterbacks, you're going to keep the ball and you're going to continue downhill to the next one, which is your pitch key. And we're going to get to some of that in a minute here. Prior to all this, quarterbacks, remember your cadence. And wings, remember who you are and what the situation is back here right now. If we're running our base veer, okay, base veer, all that is we're going to give our wing motion. We're going to give a little hand motion, so quarterbacks are going to come up. Cadence is down set. All right, quarterbacks come up, down. Once everybody's down, the quarterback gives a hand motion, set, and then he's going to ride through. All right, and now all that does is once our line is set, line has to be set for 1 second. We're going to get our wing in motion. Wing motion basically is all this right here. As soon as the wing sees the motion, he's going to take a quick 1, 2, 3 step motion, and that ball should be snapped. He is then going to run through the heels of the tailback, not behind the tailback. He's running right where that tailback was, and he's going to continue through. And what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to keep what we call a 4-by-1 relationship. He's going to stay 4 yards away from the quarterback by 1 yard, hopefully in front. Okay, so once he gets going here, so we got our 4 yards. And if that wing can get enough momentum going, he should be catching a pitch out here if that's the deal. We don't want to catch the pitch back in the backfield. We want to catch the pitch out in front of our bodies and get going if there is indeed a pitch relationship there, unless the quarterback doesn't keep it. All right. We have inside veer right. All right. So line, we have our jobs done. Quarterback, tailback. We have our wing. Let's talk about the perimeter real quick here. Perimeter is fairly simple. We're going to do a base blocking scheme on this. We have 3 blocking schemes, and I'm going to give you the first one tonight. Our base blocking scheme against this type of defense here, which is an even defense. This is a 4-4 defense. We have our pitch key. We don't touch him. We have our dive key. Sorry. We have our pitch key. We don't touch either of them. In our base secondary blocking scheme, what's going to happen is this. If we're running veer right, the Z receiver is going to stalk block or basketball zone block that corner from the play. So he's going to come out as hard as he can. Looks like he's running like a 9 route or a go route. He's going to kind of throttle the feet down a little bit, and what he's going to do is he's going to box the guy out, and wherever the guy goes, he's going to kind of stay in front of him. It's not so much a block as it is more of a basketball kind of zone block deal. Because what's going to happen is whether we pitch it or not, one of these two has to read him. We don't want our receiver getting downfield and grabbing and holding and getting a holding call on us and stuff. We want him to basically make a perimeter, and if he has to get his hands on him, hands inside and drive him wherever he wants to go, but don't hold him. Our right wing right here, he's going to leave both of these alone, and he's going right to the linebacker, or right to the free safety, sorry. If you notice now, we've got our dive key taken care of, we've got our pitch key taken care of, we've sealed off the secondary here, and what we have is we have 3 guys for 2 guys. We have the numbers advantage here when we're running this play, if we run it right. Okay, so that's inside veer right, also called 12 veer. What I'm going to do real quick here is I'm just going to flip it over real quick so you can see 13 veer. So for some of you who are left guards and left tackles and right wings and all stuff like that, you can kind of see this real quick here. This is our bread and butter play this year. We will perfect this play as much as possible. But I want you guys to understand the fact that we do have to block this right, and we do have to make sure that we're all on the same page when we run this stuff. Let me draw this up real quick here. Let me get another marker here real quick. All right. So this is our base formation. Wings are 5 yards, and they're even with the quarterback. X and Z are out on the numbers. I'm going to give us another even front again. So we've got tackle, tackle. We're going to call these guys head up in a 2. And we're going to call these defensive ends outside in a 5. We have linebackers stacked. We have our outside backers who will shade inside the wings, but they'll be about 3 to 4 yards off. Corners could be 6 to 7 off or 4 off. And then we have a free safety deep. If we're running inside veer left, which is also called 13 veer, this is how it'll look. Our left guard is going to come up, and he's going to initiate. Our right tackle, or our left tackle, sorry, is going to come down hard and pick grass. He's going to leave the dive key alone. He's going to come down hard and make sure there's no penetration here. If he sees nothing and he needs no help, he's going to completely go up to the backer. This is called our inside veer release. All right, we want to make sure we don't touch that guy at all. We want to come in hard and get up to that backer as fast as we can. We want to seal him off. So if this guy's number right here is 76, that means our left tackle has to get up and he wants to meet that number 7 on his jersey. He wants to seal him off. What we have on the center right here, center's going to take a play side step to A gap, and he's going to come up. All right, he's tracking tackle to backer, and if nobody shows, then his eyes go to the backside to make sure there's no penetration. Backside guard, he's going to step A gap and do what we call a scoop block or a reach block. He's going to make sure nobody penetrates A gap. And the backside tackle is going to wheel and seal and make sure that backside end doesn't penetrate B gap, or we don't get a blitzing linebacker through there. Offensive line, there we go right there. We have the dive key, and right here's our pitch key. So we have our DK and our PK. Well, extremely simple on this deal. What we have right now is we know that our left wing is going to go to free safety automatically. This is our base secondary coverage. We know that our X receiver is going to go right to the corner. So right now with our dive key and pitch key, we got our motion guy, hand motion, he's shooting across, he's staying in a 4-by-1 relationship. The tailback's going to come right off the outside leg of the guard here, and he's looking to get vertical. Okay, quarterback's going to read, he's going to get the ball back, he's going to read this guy right here. If this guy comes hard down, he's going to pull and replace. If this guy comes upfield to take the pitch, he's going to give it because we have a nice wide open lane right there. All right, so this would be inside veer left. Just to clarify too, on the backside, what we do is we want a screaming wide receiver. We don't want our wide receivers over here just hanging out or doing whatever. We actually want what I call the lookout block. And I want our wide receivers to go as hard and as fast as they can to get across the field, because what they're doing is they're looking for that one block that might spring the tailback up to the middle. All right, we don't want our wide receivers sitting back here and doing nothing and creating a conversation with that corner. We want him screaming across the field, because what we have here is called the lookout block. If that corner or that free safety or that pitch key guy or whoever it is, they're not paying attention and they fall asleep, and that's one guy who could make this tackle right here, we want that receiver coming across and making the lookout block. And basically what that is if they're not paying attention and you come across and hit them, you yell look out, because right about then you're gonna smack them into the ground. All right, this is inside veer left. All right, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, get with me as soon as you can. I'll make sure we hook you up. All right, let's get after it. Rise up.